Hello everyone, this is Dr. Russell Schaefer here. I just kind of want to show you this cool case I just did literally this morning. And it's kind of basic, but I think it's really showing this point right now. One thing that's pretty cool as of January 1 of next year, actually, so just about 15 days away, is that we can actually start doing printed 3D crowns, and certain materials like the PacDent Rodin Sculpture are actually considered a ceramic crown by the new ADA definition. I know I've talked about this before, but it's pretty darn cool. So, and this kind of shows a nice pairing between Clinux, the software from Cad-Ray, along with my Ackuretta Sol and the PacDent Rodin Sculpture material. So we have a patient come on in. She needed a crown number 20, had a crack through it, an old amalgam. And what happened is that she just wanted a crown done immediately. We're going to be at the office for a couple weeks to Christmas, but she was worried about letting it sit there. And she's also a little bit older, and it's hard for her to get around, so she wanted this all in one visit. So we decided to offer her a same-day crown. I told her about the material, and she was okay with it. So we got this case right here. And we can see we prepped number 20. Don't judge me too harshly. I tried my best on our preps, but I'm probably in the lower half of dentist for prepping teeth. But anyway, we have a form. We have to make sure we put on number 20, the crown. We do the file viewer, make sure we like everything, and let's go to Clinux software right here. So open Clinux. Now Clinux pretty much saves everything to your hard drive, and it kind of uses your video processor to do all the hard work, it seems like, but it actually kind of does the algorithm through web services, which I think is really cool. So we're going to import this case, edit the files. Now first we're going to mark our margins here. So we zoom in with a wheel, we right click to kind of move it, and left click to kind of rotate things. But let's start marking our margins here. We kind of just follow along where the STL shows me where to do stuff out here, and double click at the brain to finish off. Let's take a look here, make sure I like everything. All right, so I think I'm a little bit shy right here, so let's fix that. So we double click on the margin and just kind of just add to it almost. Let's go to this side here. I like that. Let's actually take this back just slightly here. So double click this. And good, I like it. So next part is we just hit next. Now we got our preparation margins. So kind of follow the thing right now. We have to determine what our path of draw will be. I like that path of draw right there. Kind of keep it up and down. Make sure the mesial points to the right as the software says. Next, and now it starts trying to figure out what tooth it's going to use. All right, it gives us that tooth right there. That's one option. Obviously, we're a bit far off. We can try the other option. So it looks like there. I kind of like this tooth a little bit more, so I'm going to go with this one. So let's start putting it in place now. We're going to move it we're going to move it to where it needs to go at, so you can kind of see the angle of attack for everything here. Let's actually rotate it first, kind of get a little more flattish almost. Perfect. Now let's move it kind of where we want it to go. Good. Center just a little bit on that, mesial distal between 19 and 20. Sorry, 19 and 21. And now let's make it a little bit bigger. So grab it and try to pull it one way. Good. Now you can notice right here the contacts look pretty far, really just too hard or too much. I'm not too worried about that, honestly. But all this red I don't like very much. That's going to be a huge issue for later on with the occlusion. So I try to kind of line it to the buccal cusp right here. And let's see here. Boom. It's bringing it down slightly there. Perfect. Now you can see right here where it's kind of showing through the prep. I probably should have prepped a little bit more on this tooth. But anyway, I'm not too worried about that for right now. See the scale right? Good. Actually, let's leave it at that right there. So let's go to next. So first we're going to adjust the contacts here. I like some really thick contacts. I like that one right there. We'll smooth that out to make it just a little bit easier to sediment on there. I find having just one point of red is kind of where I like to have it at. I'll try to make it kind of long here so that it's kind of easy to floss. Let's go this side here, same thing. Smooth out so we got one point of red. Add just a little bit there, more lingual. Perfect. And the contact's kind of in that upper third, 2/3 half of the tooth right there. So I like that perfect. Go next. Still going on proximal contacts. Okay, hit next again. And now we're going to add to this point right here. So add. And we have to choose the tool radius size. For right now, let's go for a bigger radius. So I'm going to do more quicker. Hold down the left mouse key. And kind of just add. You see right there where it's kind of getting too much hyper-occlusion right there. Good. Now let's smooth some things out. We'll kind of bring down the tool a little bit there. Let's add a little bit more. Great. Now we have a crown right there. And this literally took me under 5 minutes to do. So export it to a case folder right there. It's, you open the folder up on your desktop computer. I prefer using a desktop for all this stuff, just because I can get something a little more powerful. Let's open up my Sol software here. On my desktop, whoops. So these Alpha 3D. Ackuretta actually has a really kind of cool build platform. They have a crown and bridge build platform. Does a really good job with this. Let us throw the crown on there now. And we got a crown on there, perfect. Now I'm gonna say, I always like printing out 2 or 3 copies of the same crown, just because it doesn't really use that much more resin. And in case you mess one up, you can always go for the other one. The ideal print way is this way right here. You can try some different angulations if you don't want to get on the occlusion for the supports, but let's save it for that for right now. Then we highlight them, click on support, add supports. We can see what it gives us. Then we go to slice. And we have the option between fine, finest, standard, or fast. I'll be honest with you, I find standard does a pretty good job with everything. I guess this depends on how many layers you want right there. I like standard. I find that works good, but that will change how long something takes to print. So in this case with standard, it'll take us 20 minutes to print this. If you want to go fast, it would take us 14 minutes, so in 15 minutes. Fine, we're looking at 25 minutes, and then finest, the most layers. It's about 32 minutes. So, somewhere between 15 to 35 minutes, and you've got yourself a crown back. And yeah, we print these out, and we process them for the Rodin materials. Thank you all for watching. I hope this was pretty interesting. I think that's pretty cool that we created a crown, designed a crown in under 5 minutes, and then within 15, 20 minutes, we'll have it printed out, and then another few minutes for processing, and then a few minutes for curing. Thank you so much.